Congratulations to Sophia Wells for winning Employee of the Year for the third consecutive year, announced CEO Walter Preston at our annual company gala. My name is Nathan Reed, 36, Senior Developer at Vertex Map, a software company specializing in geographic information systems. I applauded politely along with my colleagues as Preston raised the crystal trophy destined for someone I'd never met. Unfortunately, Sophia can't join us tonight, Preston continued. As many of you know, she's supporting our Asia-Pacific clients from our Singapore office. I leaned toward Raj, my project lead, and whispered, "Have you ever actually met Sophia?" "No," he replied, "but I've collaborated with her through email. She single-handedly saved the Morrison account last quarter." I nodded thoughtfully. Everyone had heard about Sophia Wells. Her code contributions were legendary. Her client satisfaction ratings were perfect. Yet somehow, in my 3 years at Vertex Map, I'd never seen her face, not even on a video call. The mystery deepened the next day when I needed to modify an API Sophia had developed. I submitted an access request to collaborate on her repository. The system returned an error. User Wells S exists in management records, but not in developer database. Please contact IT support. Curious, I messaged Dennis in IT. Having trouble accessing Sophia Wells's code repository. Can you help? Dennis's response came quickly. That's weird. Let me check. There's something strange with her account. It exists in HR systems and management dashboards, but I can't find actual credentials. An hour later, Dennis called me. "Dude, this is weird. I can track Sophia's account activity, but there's no login data. It's like her work happens automatically. No IP addresses, no device fingerprints, nothing." That weekend, I couldn't stop thinking about Sophia Wells. On Monday, I discreetly began investigating. First, I checked the company directory. Sophia's profile showed a generic corporate headshot and listed her location as remote/Singapore. Her biography was impressively vague. Graduate of top technical universities, with extensive experience. Next, I reviewed historical project data. Sophia had joined Vertex Map 4 years ago, right when the company transitioned to a new project management system. Her contributions began slowly, then increased dramatically, until she was outperforming entire teams. The timestamps on her work followed no human pattern. Submissions at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 p.m., around the clock, every day of the week. Using my senior developer credentials, I ran an analysis of coding patterns across the company. Every developer has signature habits and recognizable styles. The results were revealing. Sophia's code had distinctive signatures matching those of our CTO, Robert Chen. Digging deeper, I discovered something even more suspicious. Sophia's activity perfectly filled gaps in productivity metrics. When a department was falling behind, Sophia's contributions always bridged the shortfall exactly. It was mathematically too perfect. That evening, I shared my findings with Raj at a bar far from the office. He initially dismissed my concerns. Maybe she's just very dedicated and talented. Then why has no one ever met her? I challenged. No video calls, no conferences, not even a real profile picture. Raj reluctantly agreed something was off. We decided to approach Maya from HR, whom we both trusted. Maya's reaction surprised us. She lowered her voice and said, "I've wondered about this myself. Her personnel file is unusual. No personal emergency contacts, no insurance dependents, just a direct deposit to an offshore account." "Can you check when she was hired? Who interviewed her?" I asked. Maya promised to look into it discreetly. 2 days later, she texted me, "Conference room C, 7 p.m. Come alone. I found Maya and Raj already waiting. Maya looked pale. I checked the hiring records. There's documentation showing Sophia was hired, but no interview notes, no resume in the file. Just approval signatures from Robert Chen and Walter Preston. The same Robert whose coding signature matches Sophia's, Raj asked. Maya nodded. There's more. I compared company performance reports before and after the new management system. Before, we were struggling to meet investor expectations. After, with Sophia's contributions, we've exceeded them every quarter. They created a fake employee to manipulate the numbers, I said quietly. Not just that, Maya added. They've been distributing her salary among executive bonuses, nearly $840,000 over 4 years. We sat in stunned silence. Our company's celebrated top performer didn't exist. She was a phantom created to justify executive bonuses and manipulate performance metrics. We need to be careful, Raj warned, if they're willing to commit fraud at this level. I've quietly backed up the evidence, I assured them. But we need more before going to the authorities. We formed a plan. Raj would monitor executive communications. Maya would track the money trail. I would analyze the system to understand exactly how Sophia operated. What I discovered was both brilliant and disturbing. Robert had created an advanced script that monitored productivity gaps across the company and automatically generated work to fill them. Code, documentation, client emails, all attributed to Sophia. The system was designed to make her performance consistently impressive, but just plausible enough to avoid scrutiny. The script even handled client interactions, using natural language processing to respond to emails and generate status reports. It scanned for problems before they became critical and produced solutions that seemed innovative, but were actually just efficient applications of existing code libraries. 2 weeks into our investigation, disaster struck. Maya was called into a meeting with Preston, and immediately afterward told us she'd been laid off for organizational restructuring. That evening, she called in a panic. They know. Someone was in my computer. They've accelerated the next bonus payment. They're covering their tracks. We had to act quickly. I compiled our evidence and sent it to the SEC Whistleblower program. Then I confronted Robert Chen directly. I walked into his office and closed the door. I know about Sophia Wells, I said simply. His face remained neutral. I'm not sure what you mean. The employee who doesn't exist except to justify executive bonuses and manipulate company metrics. Robert studied me for a long moment, then sighed. You have no idea what you're talking about. I've analyzed her code patterns. They match yours. I've tracked the automatic system that creates her work. I know about the bonus distributions. His expression hardened. Nathan, you're making accusations that could damage your career. I already have. The evidence is with the SEC. His facade cracked. It was Preston's idea. After the funding round, we needed to show consistent growth. We created Sophia as a temporary solution, just until we stabilized. That was 4 years ago. You've taken almost $1 million in fraudulent bonuses. The system works, he insisted. Nobody gets hurt. The work attributed to Sophia actually gets done, by the automation if nothing else. Except you're lying to employees, shareholders, and clients. The next morning, I was summoned to Preston's office. He sat behind his massive desk, flanked by Robert and the company's legal counsel. Nathan, Preston began smoothly, Robert shared your creative concerns about one of our employees. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I don't think so, I replied. Sophia Wells doesn't exist. She's a script that generates work and takes credit for filling productivity gaps. Meanwhile, her salary goes to executive bonuses. The lawyer intervened. That's a serious allegation without proof. I pulled out my phone and opened my email. The SEC investigator didn't think so. Neither did the technology reporter from the Wall Street Journal, who has the full story ready to publish. Preston's composure vanished. Do you have any idea what you've done? The company won't survive this. You should have thought of that before creating a fake employee to commit fraud. What followed was chaos. The SEC launched a formal investigation. Preston and Robert were placed on administrative leave. The board appointed an interim management team. I expected to be fired, but instead, the new acting CEO asked me to help audit the systems to identify all traces of the fraud. Sophia Wells, top performer for 3 consecutive years, was quietly removed from company records. The annual gala was canceled. The management system that enabled the deception was replaced. 6 months later, the SEC announced charges against Preston, Robert, and 3 other executives. They had collectively repaid $1.2 million in fraudulent bonuses plus penalties. Most avoided jail time by cooperating, except Preston, who received 18 months for orchestrating the scheme. Maya was reinstated with back pay and a promotion. Raj became our new CTO. I was offered the position of Chief Information Security Officer. During the company-wide meeting announcing these changes, an employee asked about the vacant Employee of the Year plaque in the lobby. We're replacing individual awards with team recognition, the new CEO explained. Because Vertex Map's success doesn't come from any single employee, even ones who seem too good to be true. Later, as we were retiring the Sophia Wells code, I discovered something surprising. The automation had actually improved our systems. It had identified inefficiencies and developed elegant solutions that benefited real clients. We kept those improvements while dismantling the fraud. In an ironic twist, the team that rebuilt our project management system won the first Team Excellence Award for implementing innovations originally attributed to an employee who never existed. Sometimes it takes a ghost to reveal the truth about the humans around us. Sophia Wells may have been fictional, but the lessons she taught us about integrity, transparency, and genuine teamwork were very real.